This may come as a shock. Despite decades of manipulative preaching and teaching, Jesus never taught a prosperity gospel about money. The truth is, Jesus taught a gospel of self-sacrifice. One of the religious teachers was impressed with Jesus and felt the calling to follow him. He was prepared to embrace the controversies and challenges of being closely associated with Jesus. He was willing to put his reputation on the line and make major life changes, but then he hit an obstacle. What was the obstacle that turned him back? Take a look at his short conversation with Jesus and see for yourself. Matthew 8:19 through 20. Then a teacher of the law came to him and said, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Letting go of security and embracing the unknown path of following Jesus was the obstacle that turned the spiritually hungry leader away from following Jesus. Jesus was not interested in drawing people to himself with false promises of earthly wealth. He wanted followers who sought the true treasures of heaven. Jesus wanted people to follow him for the right reasons: repentance, faith, relationship, and an earnest desire to be transformed into a new person who represented his heart and mission. In another exchange, Jesus confronted the motivations of a rich young ruler. Check it out in this passage, Matthew 19:17 through 22. "Why do you ask me about what is good?" Jesus replied. "There is only one who is good. If you want to enter life, keep the commandments." "Which ones?" he inquired. Jesus replied, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not give false testimony, honor your father and mother, and love your neighbor as yourself." "All these things I have kept," the young man said. "What do I still lack?" Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." When the young man heard this, he went away sad because he had great wealth. Does this mean followers of Jesus are destined to be poor? No. We know this is not true because Jesus often preached about using money to extend the kingdom, care for the needy, and live generously. It takes money to do all of those. What Jesus was pushing against was the motivation of pursuing him in order to satisfy your own financial goals. If we want to know and see God, we have to come to him without our own agenda. Jesus points to this in his famous Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5:8. "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." The Greek word used for pure in this verse is katharos. It means to be without admixture, separated, unmixed, free from the contaminating influences of sin. A good baker making a cake doesn't want anything mixed in that doesn't belong in the recipe. Jesus was preparing people to be his representatives so the world could taste and see the Lord is good. The recipe for God's love is meant to be served free from the contaminated motives of personal gain. When the base layer of your heart is right, he may choose to serve you frosted up and sprinkled heavily with the earthly decorations of wealth. But he does not want people biting into you and being disgusted by selfish motives hidden inside. He may also choose to serve another person up with the bare vulnerability of unfrosted poverty. Both offer a different opportunity for the world to taste his goodness. His goodness is shown through generosity flowing from the pure-hearted person's wealth, as well as through the peace the pure-hearted show as they walk through a season of poverty. As believers, We are meant to find our joy in allowing God to show His love through us. When we learn to embrace the joy of being His, we are able to find contentment in every season of our lives and find our strength in our relationship with Jesus. Relationship with Jesus is the prosperity of the gospel. This is where Paul found the perfect contentment. Paul described to the Philippian church, Philippians 4:11 through 13. I am not saying this out of need, for I have learned to be content regardless of my circumstances. I know how to live humbly, and I know how to abound. I am accustomed to any and every situation, to being filled and being hungry, to having plenty and having need. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Drop a comment to share your thoughts on today's devotional.